Good morning. It's a beautiful sunny morning here where I am. It's another week in April. We are only 4 months into the year, and yet we are faced with another mass shooting. Yesterday in Louisville, Kentucky, we had another mass shooting. I believe we're pushing 500 for the year of 2023. That's not a goal to have for the year. That's not something, to be proud about. America, we've got to stop. I have relatives in Louisville, so of course I was texting and trying to find out, where folks were located, make sure they were nowhere near this tragic situation. This happened in a bank by a young man who was apparently upset that he did not get to keep his job. I'm having trouble with people who are unable to deal with life. This is life. And I guess I'm getting on here today making this, shout out video to have this, out loud discussion with parents. I am not a parent. Let me just first say that. I do work with kids all day long. I've worked with college kids for 20 plus years, and I'm working with elementary school and middle school kids for the last few years. You parents, this is for you. Please teach your kids how to deal with life. Even the basics of saying please, thank you, and excuse me. Those are basics that every child should know growing up. But because a whole lot of them, oh, and I forgot, you're welcome. Okay? Those are basic things. Please, excuse me, and thank you are basics of getting along in life. They go a long way, but so many kids don't know how to say those words. And I'm bringing them up because if they don't know how to say those words to each other, please, can I have this? Or please, can you do this for me? If they're not saying these things to you as their parents, they're not saying these words to other people, particularly other adults and their peers. I watch kids push and shove to get in line to go nowhere. We're all going to the same place, people. I have to say this every day to kids. Don't run to get in line because they always want to be first, and then they push and shove to get to be the first in line. And they don't say excuse me when they do that. Or they'll stand there until you move out of the way because they won't or don't want to say excuse me for things. And thank you. If a teacher does something for them, opens up their juicy box or something like that, they just walk away. Just say thank you. Just 3 words, whatever. You can call it whatever. You can call it conforming, but they are manners. And those go a long, long way. But I also need them to be nice to each other, okay? We're creating a mean culture. And we really need to start telling kids, hey, you need to be nice to each other. Be nice to your parents. Be nice to your brothers and sisters. Be nice to other adults, your teachers, and everybody in the school, okay? But here's the thing about the young man who shot up people in Louisville. I am growing tired of people who are shooting people up because they're mad about something that did not go their way. Guess what? This is life. This is how life works. You can't get your way for everything. We don't always get the job we want. We don't always get to keep the job we want. We don't always get to do the things we want. We don't win everything. Someone has to lose. In games and sports, I really need y'all to teach your kids. If you're on a team, the team works together to try to win. But there's no guarantee that your team is going to win. So therefore, someone has to lose. And that needs to translate to the rest of their lives. I don't mean that someone has to lose has to translate, but the whole concept of someone's going to get the job and you're not. But you have to then apply for and try to do other things, figure out what your strengths are, figure out where your limitations are, and move on. I never thought I'd be in a public school system ever. But that's something that, I ended up doing. I love it. And I took it and embraced it. These kids need to learn how to embrace things, embrace change. Like, we are creating kids that if one little thing goes wrong, one little thing in life goes wrong, they're ready to go shoot up the place. Are you kidding? Some of y'all, particularly these young men, need to sit down with your kids and teach them how life works. Everybody can't get a trophy. I mean, there was the whole, everybody a few years ago, I think it was I don't know if it was the millennial kids or whatever, but they became known as the everybody gets a trophy generation. No, you don't. There's winners and losers. When I grew up, I played sports. I did those things. If I lost, I lost. And keep it moving. Go on with your life. But we're not teaching our kids this. And our young men, unfortunately, and women, because in Nashville, that was a woman who did the shooting up, we're not having conversations to move them to the next phase of life, to move them beyond and past what it is that happened to them, to keep it moving and go on to the next thing. What's that song, Jay-Z song, On to the Next One? Teach your kids how to move on to the next one. Because if they keep all this stuff in their hearts, in their minds, and it festers, we're going to have way more shootings. If you look at all the cases, even in the cases where someone shot people up because they were black, you're mad about something. You're mad because, fill in the blank, black people did blank, blank, blank in your head to you. Again, let it go. Men that shoot up women or kill women, you're mad because a woman did A, B, and C, boom. You're mad because someone, that you think is of Middle Eastern descent did A, B, and C. You're mad because someone Jewish did A, B, and C. And you're shooting people up for these reasons. Do you know if black folks went around shooting up all the white people because of all the things that, especially in the United States, that they did to us, we would be on the news every day for getting revenge. And because we're sad and mad about life, because things are not going our way, or because we're still oppressed or whatever. That's never going to go away. Our oppression's never going away, but you don't see us going around shooting people up for it. We keep it moving. And I need some of y'all to start teaching your children from an early age how to deal with life. If they got to pray, if you got to discipline them, if you got to issue a whooping every once in a while, some of them need this. Punishment and discipline go together. Some of them need to understand how that works. You don't get a pair of Air Jordan shoes for not doing your work. You don't get a new phone for not getting your grades. That's not how any of that works. So I need some of y'all to really get a grip, because you're creating monsters. You're creating people who don't know consequences for things. That's part of the issue. They don't understand consequences. They think they can just go get a gun, start shooting people up, just like that boy in Wisconsin who got off on a trial for shooting a Black Lives Matter protester. He had some issues, y'all. Y'all remember? He started busting out crying just uncontrollably. It was really strange. He had issues. And here's the last thing I'm going to say about teaching your kids, manners and how to get along with other people, how to deal with life. Guess what? This is how it works. Some of y'all need to teach your kids social